Good morning, students. Today let us do one application related to effective resistance of a complex circuit. Yesterday we observed the symmetric method to solve the problem. Today it is also similar to symmetric method. This method is called folding method. Folding method. In this folding method, I would like to solve this question. The question is like this. Here is a complex circuit. This is provided with two more resistors like this. And one symmetric line is there. On this line, one resistor, one more resistor, like this it is attached. And here we have two resistors. Here also we have two resistors, and in between the two resistors one more set of resistors are available like this. This is the circuit given to us. Each resistor is having resistance R. All resistors are identical. R. Every resistance is having R ohms resistance. R ohms. Now the question is, they gave some letters like A here, B here, and A, B, they gave like this. We would like to find the effective resistance between A, B and C. Effective resistance between A, B and C. That means current is entering at A and leaving out at C. R effective between A and C is equal to question mark. This is the problem we need to solve. So here clearly AC is itself line of symmetry. The circuit is similar above to the line of symmetry, even below to the line of symmetry. So symmetry is available, and if we fold this circuit along AC, exactly this part is the replication of the upper part. It is like a mirror image of the upper part. So clearly, if I give some terminal names 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 like this. Clearly, whatever current is entering into the branch towards 1, the same current is entering into the branch towards 2. Same current is flowing towards 3, same current is flowing towards 4 due to symmetry. Same current is approaching 7, same current is approaching from 7 towards 7 like this. So clearly 1, 2, these 2 points are at same potential. 3, 4, they are also at same potential. 5, 6, 5, 6 are same potentials, are same potential points. In this method, we are going to fold the circuit such that same potential points should touch each other, such that same potential points should touch each other. That means if I fold the circuit you will get like this. If I fold this 1 onto 2, from point A to this 2, you will get now between B and D, no wire is available. For symmetry, just it is a dotted line. Clearly 1 and 2 are at same potential, 3 and 4 are at same potential, and 5 and 6 are at same potential. Now let me fold the circuit and join the identical potential points. Let me fold the circuit and join the identical potential points. For example, if I fold the circuit, you will join 1 and 2. So current is coming like this towards a point A. From A, you will find 2 resistors now. They were joined at 1, 2. Similarly, 3 and 4, if you join from A to B, 1 resistor is there of resistance R. From B to this 4, this 3 also will come and join. Three and 4 are joined together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, they are joined with a resistor of resistance R. Between B and 7, just a dotted line, no wire. Here is 7, or D. When you join 3 and 4, between 3, 4 and 7, there are 2 resistors like this. And from D to C, only 1 resistor is there. From C, current is leaving out. Between C and 2 resistors are there. Between C and 2, 2 resistors are there. Actually, from C, 5 and 6 are joining together. That 5 and 6 joint point is directly connected to 2. So all these resistors are R like this. If you rearrange this structure, current is coming towards A. Between A and B, 1 resistor of resistance R is there. Between A and 1, 2 point, the effective resistance is R by 2. This is a point where 1, 2 are joined. And between 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1 more resistor of resistance R is there. This is 3, 4. Between B and 3, 4, you have R by 2. And there is 5, 6. 3, 4 and D. 3, 4 and D. Here is a resistor of resistance R by 2. This is D. From D to C, here is C. 1 resistor of resistance R is available. This is C. From C to 1, 2, there is a resistor of R by 2 resistance. Current is leaving out of C. Current is leaving out of C. Now, if you simplify it further, these two are in series to each other. it becomes 3R by 2. Now these two are in series to each other, it becomes 3R by 2. So 3R by 2 and this is R by 2. Here also 3R by 2 and R by 2. So this resistance will become inactive. So finally you are left with 3R by 2, 3R by 2, R by 2, R by 2, like this. In the upper circuit, 3R by 2, 3R by 2. In the lower circuit, R by 2, R by 2. Here one resistor is there, this is becoming inactive. So finally 3R by 2 in series to 3R by 2, that becomes 3R, R by 2 in series to each other, it becomes R. 3R is parallel to R, 3R into R by 3R plus R, 4R. So answer is RR gets cancelled, 3 by 4R. Answer is 3 by 4R. Now let us solve one more problem. The problem is like this. Current is coming in this way. It is going into a resistor of resistance 2R. Then it is going into a resistor of resistance R. This is the question. Here, one more resistor of resistance R is available like this. It is in connection to a resistance 2R like this, and both are joined with each other, and current is leaving towards B. Current is starting from A and leaving to B. Here one more resistor of resistance R is available. Now the question is, find R effective between A and B. So if you observe clearly, the ratio of these two resistors is not equal to the ratio of these two. This is R by 2R, R by 2R, which is not equal to 2R by R. So you can identify the circuit as unbalanced Wheatstone bridge. Unbalanced bridge. So to solve this problem, we follow some method of symmetry. Here resistances are similar. Here R is the resistance, here also R is the resistance. Here 2R is the resistance, here also 2R is the resistance. There is some similarity in the circuit. By observing the similarity of resistors and by the division of current, we will calculate the effective resistance. For example, X is the current going into this branch, Y is the current going into this branch. Definitely X plus Y is the current that should come from A according to Kirchhoff current law. Here X is the current passing through R. So again through R, same X is the current should pass. Here Y is the current passing through 2R. Same Y current should come this way. Y current should come this way. Then what will happen? X plus Y will go to B. And here some Z is the current passing through this resistor. Z is the current passing through this resistor. What will happen? Here X is coming, Z is leaving, remaining Y is going that side. So solution is like this. As per the observation, this is an unbalanced bridge. You cannot apply direct Wheatstone bridge condition here. Whatever current coming X, it is dividing into Y and Z. X is equal to Y plus Z. Or you can write X minus Y is equal to Z. Anything you can write. Equation number 1. Equation number 1. Now, the potential difference between A and B. The potential difference between A and B. Let it be V. That potential difference between A and B is V. How to calculate potential difference between A and B? Potential difference is equal to V is equal to IR. What is the current passing? X plus Y is the current passing. R effective we need to find. Current into R effective will give the potential. So whenever you require R effective, voltage by X plus Y we should take. Let it be equation number 2. Let it be equation number 2. Now, let me take a loop equation here to solve the problem. Let me name the points here. This is B. Already B is there. This is C, D, E, F, G, H. Something like that. Let me take one loop. Loop C, D, E, F, C. C, D, E, F, C. C, D, E, F, C. If I apply loop equation, what will happen? If I apply loop equation, what will happen? Sum of all potentials in loops should be 0. What is the potential drop here? Voltage into current. X is the current, R is the resistance. Voltage is equal to IR. Okay. Here the potential drop is ZR. Here the potential drop is Y into 2R. Sum of all potentials must be 0. And you are going in clockwise direction. As you are moving from this point to this point, current is going in this way. So you are going from high potential to low potential. The potential drop should be taken as negative. Again, current is going like this. You are also going in the same way. It is negative. Current is coming like this. You are going in opposite way. It should be taken as positive. So finally, 2YR is equal to X plus Z into R. R gets cancelled. So 2Y is equal to X plus Z. Equation number 3. 2Y is equal to X plus Z. Equation number 3. Now, how many variables are there? We have variables X, Y and Z. 3 variables are there. How many equations are there? 3 equations are there. We can from 1 X minus Z is equal to Y. Y is equal to X minus Z. So you can take the sum of these two. So 3Y is equal to 2X. Then Y is equal to 2X by 3. Let it be equation number 4. Now let me take a branch A, C, D, E, H, B. In this branch, if I take potential at A as VA, potential drop at this point is XR, potential drop here is 2RY. So by dropping this potential and by dropping this potential, you should get the potential at B. And here minus I should take, here also I should take minus. Then VA minus VB is equal to XR plus 2RY. XR plus 2RY. VA minus VB means nothing but VAB. VAB, we calculated it as V. Then V value is R effective into X plus Y. R effective into X plus Y. That is equal to XR plus 2R into Y value, we calculated it as 2X by 3. Y value, we calculated it as 2X by 3. So, R effective into X plus Y is equal to if I take LCM, 3XR plus 4XR. 3 plus 4 means 7XR by 3. 7XR by 3. In the place of Y, if I write 2X by 3 here, R effective into 5X by 3 is equal to 7XR by 3. X by 3 get cancelled. R effective is equal to 7R by 5. R effective is equal to 7R by 5. That is the solution for this question. In this way, we can solve unbalanced Wheatstone bridge by taking symmetry consideration. Symmetry consideration means through a resistance of R, X is the current going. Through the resistance of R, the same X is coming out. Through the resistance of 2R, Y is the current going. Through the resistance of 2R, the same Y is the current coming out. By using the symmetry considerations, we solved this problem. Now let us discuss one important idea, meter bridge. Meter bridge. Meter bridge, it's an instrument which is used to find the unknown resistance. Used to find unknown resistance. Meter bridge is an instrument which is used to find unknown resistance. It works on the principle of Wheatstone's bridge. It works on the principle of Wheatstone bridge. It works on the principle of Wheatstone bridge. Meter bridge consists of 1 meter wire, maybe made with constantan or manganese, like that alloy. So the exact length of the wire is 100 centimeters over 1 meter. As it consists of 1 meter wire, it is called meter bridge. It is provided with 2 L-shaped metal plates. With the help of terminals, they were joined like this. This is one terminal, this is one terminal. Let me name this terminal as A. One more metal plate is provided here. One more L-shaped plate as a combination of 2 plates is provided here. Entire plates and this wire were joined on a wooden board. This is called gap 1, this is called gap 2. Meter bridge consists of 2 gaps. Let me name this gap as P. Let me name this gap as Q. In gap P, we will keep the unknown resistance. Whose resistance is to be found? we are keeping in the gap P. In the gap Q, we are keeping some standard known resistance. Let it be S. S is the standard resistance, S ohms. S ohms is the standard resistance which is kept in gap Q. X ohms is the unknown resistance to be found. From the middle of the middle strip, we will connect one galvanometer. This galvanometer is connected to a high resistance. This high resistance is connected to a small pen-like arrangement called a jockey. So galvanometer, high resistance and jockey are connected like this. Between the terminals A and B, we will connect a source of EMF with a key. Between the terminals A and B, we connect a source of EMF E through a key K. So generally current passes from positive terminal of the battery, it will go like this. It provides a potential difference between A and B. The EMF of the cell provides a potential difference between A and B. Now, when we move the jockey from terminal A to B, slowly by tapping like this, if you join the move, if we move the jockey from the terminal A to terminal B over the wire by touching at single points, galvanometer is showing different readings. When we keep the jockey at A, it may show right side deflection. When we keep the jockey at B, it may show left side deflection. That means some current is passing through the galvanometer. But by changing the position of jockey at a particular position, suppose at a distance L from A, the deflection in the galvanometer becomes 0. That means current passing through the galvanometer becomes 0. Current passing through the galvanometer is becoming 0. Such a point is called balancing point. That means you can imagine this as Wheatstone bridge. In Wheatstone bridge there are 4 resistors. Here one unknown resistance is there, here one known resistance is there. When you keep the jockey here, this part of the wire from A to J will act as one resistor. From J to B, it will act as another resistor. When the ratio of these 2 resistances is equal to these 2 resistances, bridge will get balanced. Here resistance is proportional to length. So if I want to take the resistance of the wire from A to J, it is proportional to its length. Directly I can take the length. So here X is the unknown resistance by the resistance of this wire is proportional to its length, L is equal to. Here resistance is the standard resistance S. Here what is this length? 100 minus L in centimeters. 100 minus L in centimeters. Here L also we have taken in centimeter. Anyway centimeter gets cancelled. X by L is equal to S by 100 minus L. We need unknown resistance. Unknown resistance can be identified by taking the ratio into standard resistance. For exact finding of X value, we may replace the positions of P and Q by keeping unknown resistance here, by keeping standard resistance here. Again we may repeat the experiment. Again you will get a value nearer to X. Otherwise the average of those 2 values will be taken as unknown resistance. So in this way, by constructing Wheatstone bridge arrangement in the form of meter bridge, we are able to find unknown resistance of a given wire. The given wire whose resistance is to be found, it should be kept either at P or at Q gap. If you keep it at P, you will get one X value. By replacing them again you will get one X value. Average of those 2 will give the exact value of the unknown resistance. Here this part of the circuit is called primary circuit. The remaining part of the circuit is called secondary circuit. The primary circuit provides the necessary potential difference between A and B. The secondary circuit will behave as Wheatstone bridge. By changing the position of jockey, we will reach a point where the current passing through the galvanometer becomes 0. That means the reading of the galvanometer becomes 0. Such a balancing point, length from A is L, the remaining length is 100 minus L. By taking the ratio of resistors on either side of this galvanometer, high resistance and jockey wire, we will get unknown resistance value. Let us see one problem related to this. Finally, you tell me, meter bridge is nothing but it's an instrument which is used to find unknown resistance. It works on the principle of Wheatstone bridge. Meter bridge consists of two circuits. One is primary circuit, the second one is secondary circuit. The primary circuit provides the necessary EMF between A and B, or necessary potential difference between A and B. And the secondary circuit will act as Wheatstone bridge. The position of jockey is to be adjusted such that the galvanometer reading becomes 0. Okay? By replacing the positions of A, P and Q gaps, again you may find X value. The average may give exact value of the unknown resistance. Now let us see one problem related to this. The problem is like this question. Here they gave two resistances, R1, R2. R1 value they gave it as 15 ohms, R2 value they gave it as 10 ohms. They were connected in two gaps of the meter bridge. The meter bridge wire is like this. AB is the wire in the meter bridge. So here some galvanometer, high resistance jockey arrangement is there, and you are finding some balancing point at C. And here is some primary circuit, they mentioned like this, with key. You can keep the key also. Find the length AC. Find the length AC to have null deflection in G. G means galvanometer. To have null reflection in G. That means bridge should get balanced. You know that if this is the length L, this will be 100 minus L. So to get 0 reading at G, R1 by L must be equal to R2 by 100 minus L. R1 is 15 by L is equal to 10 by 100 minus L. On cross multiplication, 100 minus L is equal to 10L by 15. So 2 by 3. So 300 minus 3L is equal to 2L. 5L is equal to 300. L is equal to 60 centimeters. L is nothing but the required AC value. So very simple. You can solve the problem by using the condition for balanced Wheatstone bridge. You will get the required solution. Thank you.